Welcome to this Hall of Fame interview. I'm super excited to invite my own brother from another mother, Pradeep Natarajan. Thank you so much, Pradeep. Welcome to Hall of Fame interview. What would you like to share about this particular interview, Pradeep?
Thank you so much, Apu. And as you rightly said, brother from a different mother, I think I share the same. She is the sister from another mother. And I think how how things started was like in a very, very synchronous manner. Uh, I was in one of the ILH rooms and I just saw her name on the right-hand side in the participants. I just Googled her up. She happened to be from Pune. And there you go. I started following her on LinkedIn to see what she's doing, etc. And that's how the journey started. So it was, I would say, in a way, ordained to happen. And the best things in life always go in a flow. So that's how it all started.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep. So, I would like to ask you a few questions for the audience here. And so, the first question is when did you join this community and what was the story behind? I know that there was a story behind, you joining the community. You had
Right.
personally messaged me as well that, I
Yes.
need some time. And
Yes.
after a few months, I think you
Yes.
enrolled
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it was the month of around June or July of 2023 when I first saw you out there in that ILH chat room, and after that I got in touch with you on LinkedIn, and I thought that it's great to know fellow coaches because being an executive coach myself, I said it's good to know fellow coaches and especially. Coming to see that you are into parenting and into inner child healing, etc., I said it would also be a very good place where probably I can probably recommend some of my clients, etc., when they have their own needs for that particular purpose to come down to you and talk to you. So that's how it had started in the month of June, July, and I started following you. And I think I reached to you through LinkedIn, and then you started sending me newsletters, etc. And it took me a good 3, 4 months where you're sending me newsletters to join the community, etc. But the main reason why I didn't join the community is because, I was full with work. I was coming up with my programs also. I was as busy writing 2 books. It was too much of a time burden on me. And I don't just believe in becoming a part of the community because I like take a deep dive and get immersed in it. So I was looking for the right time to quite join it. So that was number one. Number two is, as you know, I have a 8-year-old daughter. Her name is Rishima, and I wanted to be the best possible parent I could be. I know there is the best possible parent sounds very cliched and too superlative, but in our own way, whatever I can do from my side to give the best parenting experience and see that my child blossoms up in the way was something that I had at the top of my mind. So, being a coach myself for more than 8, 9 years, I've been following a lot of international parenting coaches like Shefali and many others. But I said, I want to be a part of a local community where we can engage, talk, grow, share, and then take up things. And that's where I found a match in the Visionary Parent Hub as such. So the first thing that drew me to the Visionary Parent Hub was basically, see, all of us uh, don't come with a user manual. We don't come with a user manual either to run life or even in our own roles as as a father, a son, a husband, etc. And little do we even understand the need of such a manual or best practices because we are so much in the rat race and so much in this entire narrative of running fast and FOMO that people are not aware of their roles and how they are being in those roles. And I wanted to cut this clutter. And since almost, I think my journey has been for the last 30 years now, almost 30 years. Um, every day that I think has been a constant for me in my life is learning and relearning. And this is an aspect that I really wanted to know. And that is what attracted me to the Visionary Parent app. So then it was the month of November, and I had set up a deadline for me that by the end of this year, I will surely start up with my parenting course because, what is the use of taking a parenting course and being a part of a community when my daughter has already grown? Why do you want to lose out on those years? And I said, that is my priority. And in November, second week, I took the jump and became a part of the community. I think now it's 4 months. I think I'm
Yes.
almost through half the courses. I finished through it. So I'm quite
Yes.
diligent at whatever I did. And I guess it's also infectious in a way because, I think the biggest dopamine is growth and what it offers you. Because
Yes.
as you grow, you shed a lot of pain also. So it's one of the best things that could have happened. And I guess it's been a great journey for me till now.
Superb, superb. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for sharing that. Yes, definitely, growth is something that is my highest value as well. So, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So,
Absolutely. You're so right. And yeah, yeah. And one more thing was when I went through your LinkedIn profile, I saw that you were a part of Heartfulness. And I've been in Heartfulness from the time I have been 18. So I said,
absolutely.
what better can it be than have a person with the same value system? And, though I've been a ICF accredited coach at PCC and I've gone through a lot of peer coaching, believe me, I never had so much of a safe space where even during my peer coaching, I can talk about things that are very personal to me because it was more about what the coach offered me as a safe space. For me, I've been a person who always connects to people directly heart to heart. So for me, either the connection happens or it's not there. But it's actually not that. It is actually like you feel that heart to heart connection. With you, I found that heart to heart connection. And that's what I thought would speeden up my whole journey, where I think I would have a safe space in this community where I can learn. So, though it was the parenting aspect that I really joined this whole hub for, where I also got impacted was in my inner child healing, in my self awareness, my self growth, my self attention, and many more things in terms of my personal mastery.
Yes. So, like you shared, about this inner child healing. I'm sure that you went through the 3 days of healing journey with me, and then, we had a one-to-one conversation
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you felt that you wanted to deepen or, intensify your practice, your inner child healing
yes,
practices.
yes.
So, how was that journey, Pradeep, for you?
So I became a silver member, and I think the day I got the membership, I started on with the affirmations and the course material. Uh, it, I would say, though there is so much of content, I really didn't find it overwhelming because it was very soft, smooth, and it was in bite-sized capsules that I could chew and gain on. Uh, you know, being an experiential learner myself, I am the type of person who wants to learn, put it into action, see what's the feedback coming out of it, iterate, and then do it. So with the content of your hub and the way you have so beautifully structured the whole thing, that was very easy to have those bite-sized exercises and content and everything to chew it quite well and experience it. So as a part of my silver membership, I was already growing and doing that. And then what happened is I did have a few things that were upsetting me for a very long time, where as a coach, I have internalized myself, gone through my own self coaching, but not really come to terms in terms of a completion on those issues. And those were related to, um, wounds and belief systems that I've been carrying from my childhood, etc. And when you had an offer in one of the community sessions that we had, that you wanted to have a one-on-one, sessions open for it and a gold membership with it, I said, wow, this is a good time where I can engage with a fellow coach. because there was safe space, there was openness, there was transparency, and I thought I could really talk my mind out. And being a coach myself and being half a day or more in coaching, it becomes difficult for you to even self coach yourself. You can't be your own sounding board, you know. So that is something that I found in the one on one sessions that I had with you, where where in those one on one sessions, those small, simple, but yet incisive questions that you asked made me think differently, focus differently, and I think discover things differently. And that is what exactly happened in those sessions which were there. And to a great extent, it's worked great. And I think it is just like 2 months, but I feel like it's a very, very long time because I think I have become a different version of who I am now as compared to that day. That's why I feel it's been so long ago. But actually, it's been just 2 months. I think last week of December to start with, and that's how it's been.
Yes, yes. Superb. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for sharing that. What were those, tangible or intangible outcomes that you could experience during this journey and even now as we go ahead?
Hmm. So, as a part of being a part of the community and the inner circle masterminds, and also through the self-paced learning that is available in the hub, I think there is a lot of content that I've been growing on and chewing from time to time. Also, along with that, working and reflecting and journaling did help a lot more in that whole process. Also, with that, when you had those special interest events like the Healathon or the 7 day meditation challenge and stuff like that, it gives you an extra mojo to just be consistent and complete things out there. And I believe I'm going through a Hall of Fame interview today because I've been able to gather steam quite fast in that direction. So thanks to the process and the detailed way in which you have said things, that things just was on a roll, I would say. So that was regarding the self-learning part, which, at my own pace, being a coach, I can take it up any point of time and do it. But yet, I think where it did make a difference for me is the day I took a jump, that was, 11th of November. And now when I look at it, I see it's an angel number 1111 and 2023. So, I was like, oh my God, again a coincidence, but it's quite ordained. That day I had decided that I am going to be spending at least 1 hour in contemplation of how I want to be with my daughter as a parent and how I also want to nurture the inner child within me. Because we might have grown and come of age, but without addressing the inner child inside all of us. And I have been into shadow work and into a lot of psychological processes. I think I've been crazy to be reading Sigmund Freud and Adler at 18 years of age, So I've been that sort of a person into a lot of psychology, etc. It's one thing to read, understand. It's another thing to work on yourself. So through the processes and everything that have been put in through the Visionary Hub, Parent Hub, I think that was very useful for me in focusing on each one of them and master each one of them. Of course, mastery is a continuous process. It's only in levels, but I guess I am on the way to it because I see a very fast and quick progression in it. So that way it has been very helpful. Secondly, after those uh, events happened where, there are special webinars like we finished yesterday, one on self-sabotage and how to handle it, etc. These are things I know as a coach. But in our wakeful reality, we need to remind ourselves, be focused on it and relearn it. And I guess this continuous learning and being a part of the community helps there. And well, self sabotage and everything need not be a part of visionary parenting, is what anyone might think. but I think it is so very connected, because unless you integrate yourself into who you are, you can never be a parent to somebody else. And I think that is
So
where
true.
it has helped a lot. In terms of tangible things that I think I have taken home, uh, a lot of peace inside myself. Uh, I have been able to resolve a lot of guilt that I have faced thanks to you, where you asked this question that are you too critical about yourself? And I understood that I had a perfectionist streak in me, which I used to hold. So I was basically having a piercing sword pointed at me all the time. And I just got aware about it in that session. And that's such a lot of freedom when I got to know about it, because now I'm kind to myself. There's so much of self-care that I am into. And it's like, okay, I'm doing it. See, for anyone who's hearing this interview, it might look like, so what? But at an experiential basis, deep inside you, when you are experiencing it, it's colossal. It's a different level of freedom, I would say. So that's where it has tangibly impacted me. It has also impacted me in terms of my empathy and my way of observing and being with my daughter. My daughter is my life, you know, and she is somebody who intentionally or unintentionally also be a source of little bit of hurt for her. And I've been mindful about that. And I guess that is where it is helping me even more. So these have been some of the tangible ways in which, I guess things have quite worked for me.
Yeah. Superb, superb. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for sharing that. And yes, I still remember those 3 days that we did. The second day and the third day, they both were almost 360
Contrasting.
degree, yeah, contrasting altogether. So would you like to
Yeah,
share your feelings
yeah,
on day
yeah, yeah.
two and your feelings on day three?
Without going much into the details, if I looked at it in the second day of the process when things were coming out, where I had to address a lot of memories of my past, uh, about upbringing, what I observed and created belief systems as a child, etc. I think on the second day there was a lot of anger, because everything had just come to the surface. And it was like, I don't care about it. I think as a child, I need to be loved, and love is my birthright. To be loved, to be cared for, and having compassion on me is a compulsory part of every human being. And if a human being has not been able to reciprocate to that, they are a mistake, they are a problem. I am not cared about it. Actually, I was in that sort of a worked up mood ki, I don't know, it's not me at fault at all. The whole fault is on the other people, and they are responsible for it because they were elder to me. Why didn't they understand? And I guess after that, because of my injury, I had an ankle injury, and there was a little bit of a lapse of a time also. Somewhere that time helped me to recalibrate, and I observed something. And that observation was something very profound for me. That as we grow in life, as we create our own user manual in life as to how to run our life, the sum total of our beliefs, our experiences, etc., we keep writing it. I noticed that these are just interpretations of how we feel. And as a child, I probably didn't have the maturity to interpret it in that way. But having written out there and following it day in and day out, I would have spent another 2, 3 decades, but the user manual remains the same. So every time a like minded situation would arise, it is like the amygdala hijack is happening, and the brain is telling you, just do this. And I react in that particular manner. So if I keep reacting the same way, I ask myself, if I keep reacting the same way I've been doing all these years, how is anything going to be new? How anything new is going to happen? And that is a place where I got the biggest bulb on moment, which was reacting versus responding. And that changed my whole outlook towards my inner child experience, my connection with my parents, my connection with the world at large, and with everybody. And that was healing for me. That is what happened on day number 3. Again, on day number 3, when we went through the questioning and I got that bulb on moment of being overcritical on myself, being a perfectionist, I again found out that that was my mechanism of coping up to be the best. I felt that I need to be the internal calibrator and examiner, and I need to be always right there. The world doesn't need to come and tell me. So, in a way, I have only got accolades and praises from people outside. But who's the biggest critic and examiner? Pradeep Natarajan himself, correct? And that is quite a lot of pressure. So, from anger and infuriation and reaction to responding, behaving, and being is what was the biggest transformation that happened in those 2 days.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And that was really profound. It really was hard hitting.
Yes. I mean, that was really, really amazing, Pradeep. I still have that memory when the day two you were like, no, no, I don't want to do this at all. What are you saying, Apu? I don't agree with you. And day three, it was yes, you had a lot of awareness about yourself and you understood that you have been the most the biggest critique of your own life, right? And in fact, in a way, we all are the same. Like we all are the biggest critiques of our own life, of our own self, right? So what would you like to share? What are those three key principles that you would like to share with others who are watching this right now? What would that be for like, how would you share that? Three key principles.
You mean things that have really worked for me, which I would want to share with people? Is that what you
Um,
are asking?
Meaning that what would you like to share with others who are watching right now? What should be their three key principles, or what are your three key principles in order to get success?
So, see, I've been almost on the self improvement path from the time I was 8 years old. Because, I started meditating at the age of 9 after taking a book of Swami Vivekananda and doing it. So, frankly speaking, it's been a journey of almost 38, 39 years for me. So, rather than principles, I would rather say, or doctrines that I wanted to live on, um, I think I have lived my life out of to do techniques that have really worked for me very, very well. Um, One of the techniques that I have used always is what is called as the aware and the beware technique. Uh, I keep asking myself, are you aware of what you're doing and beware of self-sabotaging or sabotaging ideas? So being aware of how I am coming across, how life is coming across, how people are responding versus what you're judging, what you're looking at, etc. So that is something that has really worked. So in a way, the aware and beware is closely linked to how mindfully you are leading your life. So this is connected to the the thing that I read somewhere and which influenced me a lot. And that was your only obligation in your lifetime is being true to yourself. Being true to anybody else is but a mark of a fake Messiah. This was written by Richard Bach in the book Illusions. And this has left a profound impact on me. And as rightly said in that quote, you can never be true to others, but you can be true to yourself. And since that day, I have been trying to lead my and be and lead life from my most authentic self. And when you lead your life from that authentic self, you are one and the same to everybody. So I feel the way I come across to my coaches, my clients, my parents, my neighbors, everybody, including my family, is the one Pradeep. It's not two, three different Pradeeps and roles I have to put. I don't have to wear masks for that. So authenticity and self mastery being the key to it, these techniques is what has quite profoundly touched me. And I guess the only constant in our life, I think, is observing, listening, being in gratitude, and relearning. I guess if we can be aligned by these four, five keywords that we have, and we lead our life by that, every moment of our life is worth living, and it's out of the world, I should say. So
Absolutely.
it's heaven on earth, just leading your life, being aligned to these, what you would call pillars as such.
Yes. Superb. Thank you so much. It was so inspiring. Definitely, Pradeep. This video is in itself so inspiring, and it is going to inspire a lot of people who are going to watch this. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh,
One last
it's my
question.
pleasure. It's my
Yes,
pleasure. And frankly, I would say that, uh, yes, it's great to be inspiration for others, but I guess I am just following the legacy of all our gurus and all the teachers who have come in my life, who have inspired me to be the best version of who I am and what I'm becoming. And the journey is still on. So mastery is still as a journey. And thanks to you,
absolutely.
Apu, for being a coach, having set up something like the Visionary Parenting Hub also, uh, to impact in that way. Because I think people are not able to understand and live up to the child within. And frankly speaking, I know why you came into my life. It's out of that questioning and being in that, continuous inquiry mode. I've always been a child, though I have grown up. I have always led life with a childlike innocence, I should say. Even my business. I've been a serial entrepreneur. I've been an evangelist of digital. Doesn't matter. All this, I've done it in pure childlike innocence. And your entire process and your vision to heal that inner child, understand that inner child, and in the process becoming great parent, I think can be very transformative and is a need of the society today. And that is where the impact would be great. So kudos to you and congratulations to continue your work.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep. It really means a lot. One last question, Pradeep. What is your number one success principle?
Oh, I guess it's being humble in life. Humility is the most important quality for quality living.
True. So beautifully explained. And our master, spiritual master also says, right, humility
Absolutely.
is
And
divinity.
I feel that is the biggest effect on me, because the minute I understood it from Chariji that humility is the highest form of divinity, and I saw it in his living actions, that you can be a lion and you can still be humble.
Yes.
And that's what I attempted being at when I was 18, when I met him and this journey whole started. And
Yeah,
he's not there, he's passed on to the brighter worlds, but that effect is still there.
absolutely. Absolutely. Super. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for doing this with me.
It's my
Congratulations
pleasure.
once again. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you very soon.
Sure thing. Same here, Apu. Continue with the great work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Superb. So if you are inspired with this video, let us know in the comments below what inspired you the most. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.